Where do you want me to sit at?
You can start in the middle.
In the middle?
Yeah.
I've been here for about 4 years. I'm from a small town in East Tennessee. I'm so from Tennessee, people call me Tennessee as a nickname. I took my first breath with a muddy rays of spears and go Mexico, where the skyline covered with chemical plants that put bread on the table of the working man. Working man does his best to providing a safety and a shelter, kids and a wife. Give a little more of his soul every day to working overtime. I'm 36 years old, and I really didn't begin playing guitar till I was 30.
So what led you from Tennessee to St. Augustine?
I'm from a town with one red light, you know, and when I got to Jacksonville, it was overwhelming. Like I said, I was expecting a Leonard Skinner amusement park, but
And you got pirates instead?
When we were talking about skyscrapers, I didn't even know how to play music. I wanted to play music. I wanted to play music for money. I wanted to play music for a living. I didn't know how to do that, and so I just like showed up in Jacksonville, and I got very overwhelmed. We were driving and we were so discouraged. We were about to go back to Tennessee, and we seen St. Augustine on the little interstate green sign, you know. And I said, "You want to go to Tennessee or St. Augustine?" And she picked St. Augustine. I love old music. I love old blues. I love old country. I love old folk. I just like old music.
Yeah.
And you know, there's some guys now. There's some guys. There's a guy named Nathaniel Ratliff that comes to mind.
Oh, I love Nathaniel. Yeah.
He makes
I
old
love
music. He
Nathaniel
makes
Ratliff.
new old
He's
music.
Awesome.
You know, his
Have
music.
you seen him live?
No.
Oh, I've seen him a couple times.
Yeah. Well,
So
his
good.
music sounds like it comes straight out of 1965. you
Yeah.
know? And even the sound quality and the way he records it, you know. I just love that old sound.
And his lyrics are good.
Yeah,
His
absolutely.
sound is good.
Yeah.
He's awesome live. You should see him.
Yeah.
You should see him.
I would like to.
It's my time now to keep the wolves away.
So if you could give advice to yourself 5 years ago, what would you tell yourself 5 years ago?
Well, the first thing I would do would get on to myself and tell myself to quit making stupid decisions, because but I've lived some good songs, so I need to write them, you know. And so even for some of the stupid things I've done in my life, I'm thankful. I'm not necessarily ashamed of them, because just even in my own life now, I've met plenty of people that are going through some hardships and some things that are similar to what I've been through, and I can truly look at them and say, look, I've been there. You know?
Use your light to shine on somebody else.
Yeah, and so I would, to answer your question, I would tell myself to straighten up and get serious about music.
This life that I live struck me everywhere. There ain't no place I ain't ever gone.
What would you tell a young musician?
Chase good music. You know, the music will open the doors, the music will make the connections, the music will put food on your table, the music will pay the rent. It's easy to get lost in the fame and the glory side of things and kind of get away from the craft. Good music outweighs fame any day, you know.
It does, yeah. And I think there's a lot of value in just doing something because it feels good.
Yeah, that's it.
Right?
Yeah.
And because somebody else is inspired by you.
Yeah.
Right? Just how like your story inspires so many people. Like even like when I met you, like when I heard your story, I was like, oh my gosh, that is beautiful. And like you're just out there doing it.
Beauty of the hills of Carolina, or the sweet
in Tennessee. And Lord, I can't make any change. All I can do is write 'em in a song. Yes, but I can't see the concrete slowly creeping. Lord, take me in mind before that comes.
Am I going back or am I going forward? Am I
Yep.
going back or am I going forward?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a crossroads, you know, and it was much bigger than the physical road. You know what I'm saying? It meant a lot of things. It had spiritual implications, you know. But we're looking at an interstate sign, and one side, I mean, you might as well said Tennessee or St. Augustine, but one side said Tennessee, and I believe it was like Valdosta or something. But we knew that was the Tennessee way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I put it completely in her hands, and she brought it, and she chose this. She was crazy enough to leave with me. Like I said, the man that left Tennessee and the man that sits here now are different people. I've made some mistakes in life, you know,
Yeah.
and
Well, I mean, I think we all do. I think we're all our worst critics, but at the same time, like without those mistakes, like would you
Yeah.
really be
you're right. Exactly.
you are today?
Absolutely.
You know, like we have to walk through certain things to kind of get where we're going, and
Yeah.
you know, sometimes we detour from the path, but we kind of have to.
Yeah.
You know.
And
sometimes.
while I look at them as mistakes, I certainly don't look at them as regrets.
So when you went from Tennessee to Jacksonville, how long did you stay in Jacksonville before hitting the road to St. Augustine?
It was a grueling process to get to Jacksonville. And like I said, Jacksonville was sort of like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Vacation with like Chevy Chase, where they're like going
okay.
to Wally
Yeah,
World.
yeah.
And you know, and the whole movie spent in this journey to get to Wally World, and then they get there and it's like this letdown, like the thing's closed, and like so. And so that's how my journey from Tennessee was. It was this long, drawn out odyssey of like,
Leonard Skinner World's around the corner.
yeah, like Leonard World, Skinner World, you know.
Skinner World.
Out of old Dixieland, Lord, but you never take old Dixie from a boy. And Lord, I can't make any change. All I can do is write 'em in a song. Yes, but I can't see the concrete slowly creeping. Lord, take me in mind before that comes. I said I can't see the concrete slowly creeping. Lord, take me in mind before that comes. All right, I'll just tell you then. So we were in a place, a little bitty town in Georgia, and you can edit it out if you need to, but to be honest with you, I went to jail in somewhere Georgia because I was driving I didn't have a license.
Yeah.
And so,
Did you leave Tennessee with a license?
no,
No. Okay.
I hadn't had, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
But I left anyway.
Yeah.
And honestly, the car that I left in, I didn't own. Okay, I didn't steal it,
But it wasn't yours.
but it wasn't mine.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah. So, and this is how crazy my life was. I go to jail on the 4th of July. I didn't have money to bond out, but so that meant I would have to be there for like a week till I went to court. I've never seen this in my life, but these men, I started telling these men in jail, the inmates that I'm in jail with, my story, and don't ask me how they got it, but these guys poured cash out of their socks and gave me the money to bond out.
Wow.
And so I bonded out after 24 hours. We leave that town in Georgia, and like I said, I was trouble, and so I ran around with troublesome people. And so I met a guy, and I knew he was shady dude, and I knew he wasn't good. And we were in that little rough town in Georgia where we slept on top of a Waffle House, and I knew that I could call this guy. And all I had was a girlfriend and a guitar. That's all I had to my name. I knew that I could call this guy, and it would probably cost me, I don't know, I mean, I would be in debt to him, but he would probably come and bring us to Florida. Because we were all we knew, we didn't know why we wanted to go to Florida other than Leonard Skinnerville, you know. But we were just trying to get to Florida with all that we had, with every ounce of faith we could muster. And so it's pretty crazy. This guy starts talking to, we walk by, he's a 250-pound man soaking his feet with a van door slid open. It's the creepiest looking thing you've ever seen in your life. And I call him the man in the van. And so, but he starts speaking, and he's like
soaking his feet?
Yep, soaking his feet. Weirdest, creepiest, like, creepy van. It's like you wouldn't go nowhere near this, but for some reason we went near this, and this guy was a super nice guy. Just an old weird dude. He had a divine message. He knew, he spoke into my life. He said that he knew that I was facing decisions, and he knew that I had one decision that was an easy decision to make, a convenient decision, or I could make the harder decision. And so the easy decision would be to call my friend that's shady, that they'll tell him what I would get into to do it, but I know that it would be a ride. The harder decision would be to stay where I'm at, try to get a job, make my way legally to Florida. And he said, I want to encourage you to make the harder decision. But anyway, I made the easy decision, called the guy. This guy comes, picks us up. We're in northern Georgia, and we made it to about Atlanta before he's already like trying some shady stuff with my wife, and I'm upset. And so he throws us out of the car in Atlanta, takes off with my guitar.
Oh, no.
So now he's got my own, and I love my guitar, you know. So now he's got my guitar. We don't have nowhere to go. I knew, the dude told me not to make the easy decision because it would cost me in the long run. But now I know where he's from. He's from the west coast of Florida. I was never going there to begin with. So now my guitar's on its way there because he just left us. And so now my main odyssey of going to Skinnerville turns into a side quest of going to get my guitar. It wasn't a matter of replace. I loved my guitar. Plus, I'm left-handed. You just don't go get left-handed guitars.
Yeah.
And so we went. Now I've set every bit of my ambition to going and finding this guy and get my guitar. A random truck driver took us to where we needed to be, where he was at. I show up, got my guitar. Wasn't really no problem. I was a lot bigger than he was. So we finally landed in Jacksonville, and like I said, we're from a very small place, very rural. Like there's nowhere to go play your guitar for money, and there's no bars. It's 4 hours east of Nashville. So I show up in Jacksonville, and I'm talking about Jacksonville, skyscrapers, 6 lanes of traffic. You know, like I'm very overwhelmed. I don't even know. First of all, I'm nervous even about singing. I've never even sang for people, just like my close friends.
Yeah.
And some of them would encourage me and say, hey man, you could make something out of this. And so I set off to do that. So I might have sat, and we might have 2 or 3 days in Jacksonville. And I was so discouraged, and I felt like this whole journey, because like I said, nobody even, I didn't even see nothing regarding Leonard Skinner. I thought it just wasn't what I thought it was. And I'm not putting down Jacksonville.
No.
Since then, I've went up there and played. I love Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But where I was at that time in my life, I wasn't ready,
Yeah.
And so I thought it was all over. I thought we were just going to go back to our troublesome lives in Tennessee and just do what we've always done and just kind of get in trouble. And, but I was at the end of my rope. The last moment she picked St. Augustine.
Wow.
And thank God.
I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna cross that river. I'm gonna catch tomorrow now. You're gonna wanna hold me just like I always told you. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Nobody here will ever find me. I will always be around, just like the songs I leave behind me. We're gonna live forever now.
So what do you think,
You fathers and you
where would you like to see yourself music-wise in, say, like 5 years?
I just want to have good sounding songs that tell my story, that tell the truth. And like I said, as far as anywhere or anything that comes.
I think that's what music is, right? Like little small glimpse of people's story.
Yeah.
Like regardless of, what genre it is, it's a story.
Well, Willie Nelson said that what a good song contains, the best song contains 3 chords and the truth. Music is a universal language.
It is a universal language. Yep. And
Just know
that's
that
why I love music.
someone
I agree.
really loves you. We'll live forever, you and I. I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna cross that river. I'm gonna catch tomorrow now. You're gonna wanna hold me just like I always told you. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
That was awesome, John.
Thank you.
That was so good. Yeah, no, that was awesome.
That's old Billy Joe Shaver song.